It's completely unfair, I know, but the truth is the truth. Alex is genuinely a phenomenal man, and what should be a perfect relationship stories long. He's sensitive, incredibly romantic, totally committed. He talks about marriage, prays with me, and his friends swear he's deeply in love. He's everything the macho, terrible guys I dated before weren't. Yet my mind gets snagged on the superficial stuff, the mannerisms. He crosses his legs, stretches words out like marvelous, and gives those wide-mouthed gasps when he's shocked. It sounds so silly to write down, but that gay accent and those mannerisms create a growing, uncomfortable knot in my stomach every time we're out in public. I'm struggling with this brutal paradox. I have the kind of genuine connection I've always wanted, but I feel ashamed because of how he acts. This feeling of shame, the focus on external validation over true connection, is turning my happiness into its own personal toxic relationship stories. And I know I have to figure out why I'm letting minor traits eclipse major qualities. The worst part of this internal battle is how crippling my fear of public perception has become. I get genuinely uncomfortable when Alex uses his unique expressions around my friends, coworkers, or family. It's a physical tightening in my chest. I hate admitting this, but I keep obsessively thinking people might jump to conclusions, whispering that I'm dating a gay man. That fear of judgment, the noise of what other people might think, is creating a toxic internal prison where I am the sole inmate. This isn't just external pressure. It's a form of self-sabotage, actively making this beautiful relationship stories long feel terrible because of a societal script I've internalized. I'm allowing external appearance to invalidate the genuine, committed love that defines our connection. Honestly, I'm the source of the toxicity here. My own shame is turning a perfectly good relationship into one of my own creation's toxic relationship stories. I'm so focused on managing the judgments of strangers that I'm missing the amazing, caring man right in front of me. I need to understand why external opinions hold so much power over my internal happiness. The shame started manifesting as a horrible temptation. The impulse to subtly suggest that Alex tone down his mannerisms, to somehow fix him. I felt physically sick realizing I was on the verge of treating the kindest man I'd ever met like a project just to appease the imaginary judges in my head. This desire to control and alter a core trait is a classic marker of toxic relationship stories, and I was the one initiating it. But then the cruel comparison hit me. Why am I risking a truly profound relationship stories long for this? I remembered my exes, the macho guys who never crossed their legs but specialized in emotional cruelty, disrespect, and utter selfishness. They fit the societal mold, yet they were deeply broken, truly terrible partners who made me miserable. This stark realization was a brutal slap of sanity. I was contemplating sacrificing genuine happiness, commitment, and passion, everything I valued, simply because Alex said sensational with too much flourish. The mannerisms are irrelevant. They are just packaging. The problem is not his trait. The problem is my fear of what his trait might symbolize to others. Here's the stark, undeniable fact. Alex is openly bisexual. He has been upfront, honest, and completely transparent about his past and his identity. He brings his whole self to our relationship stories long. Yet I am not ashamed that he's bi. I am ashamed because of his perceived gayness, the mannerisms that make him appear to fit a stereotype. I had to confront the hypocrisy of my own feelings. I'm fine with his sexuality in private, but I dread the possibility of a public assumption. This is crucial. The shame isn't about who he is, but about my own fear of the label society might slap on me for dating him. That distinction felt like a punch to the gut. This realization exposes the ugly core of my struggle. I'm not battling Alex, I'm battling my own internalized prejudices and the suffocating pressure of straight, macho societal norms. My shame over his marvelous expressions is proof that I'm creating the most profound toxic relationship stories of all. A relationship where judgment matters more than love. The game totally changed when I stopped looking at Alex's mannerisms and started looking inward. I initiated my own inverted investigation, tracing the root of my profound shame. The truth I found wasn't about our relationship stories long, it was about me. The problem wasn't Alex's sensational expression, it was the rigid, unexamined beliefs programmed into me by my family and social circles. I realized I was terrified of being dismissed, of having my relationship invalidated by outside opinion, proving that my self-worth was still dangerously tied to external validation. I was so focused on adhering to the traditional, acceptable image of a couple that I was willing to sacrifice the kindest, most committed man I'd ever known. This was the ultimate confrontation. I was allowing outdated, judgmental voices to define my happiness, creating a self-imposed, silent, toxic relationship stories. The mannerisms were just the trigger. The actual toxicity was my fear of defying expectation. The only way out was to choose my genuine love over the collective judgment of people who didn't truly matter. The final act of love truly wasn't for Alex, it was for myself. The moment I stopped fighting my internal shame and fully accepted him, mannerisms, bisexuality, and all, was the moment I finally escaped my own self-imposed toxic relationship stories. I realized those unique traits weren't flaws. They were part of the genuine, sensitive man I beloved, the same man who talks about marriage and prays with me. The ultimate freedom came from rejecting the external gaze entirely. I decided that my genuine happiness with this committed man outweighed the fear of whispers from coworkers or family members who didn't understand. I had broken the societal script, choosing a profound relationship stories long based on mutual respect and commitment over shallow appearance. This was the end of the struggle. By fully accepting Alex, I was in fact fully accepting myself, the woman who deserves genuine love regardless of how it looks to others. The power was never in changing him, it was in changing my own focus from external shame to internal certainty. We've exposed the most painful secret. The problem is often our own internal battle against judgment, not our partner. You've learned that true freedom isn't about changing who you love, but about eliminating the source of your shame. Now I challenge you, what external opinion holds more power over your happiness than it deserves? Are you truly choosing genuine love, or are you choosing social approval? Remember, the greatest act of self-love is choosing your authentic relationship stories long, regardless of how it looks to others. If this journey has inspired you to break free from your own internalized toxic relationship stories, subscribe to the channel right now and hit the notification bell to continue this deep conversation, and tell us in the comments, where does your liberation begin?